My name is Amit. I'm the VP of Technology at Diamond Foundry. Before I joined Diamond Foundry, I was the VP of Technology at Rachel Zoe, and the companies before that. So at Rachel Zoe Inc., we use WooCommerce to develop and grow our business, and it was called Boxer Style, and I'm going to talk about all the challenges that you're gonna face when you start with a subscription commerce business. So let's start with subscription commerce. How many of you guys are in a subscription commerce business right now? You are, perfect. And how many of you know what is a subscription commerce? Okay, perfect. So I'll start with the basic introduction of subscription commerce. It's a business model where you focus on recurring revenue. You sign people up for subscriptions, and basically the marketing dollars. The reason why it's becoming really popular right now, you have Boxer Style, you have Ipsy, you have Spreeza Box, you have Dollar Shave Club, Sephora. Everyone is going after subscription commerce business because it's recurring revenue, and you spend all of your marketing dollars on acquiring new customers, and the content is curated by celebrities. Like, everyone's jumping onto subscription commerce now, and users get to pick and choose their items from a box, and they tend to stay. They tend to stay for like years, and that's when I'm going to talk about LTV and other values. And the big question now: how can you use WordPress or WooCommerce to develop a subscription commerce business and grow that subscription commerce business? So the technical challenges. Now you get a call from your CEO like, hey, I want to develop subscription commerce, and WooCommerce has the ability to do that. So it's just dropping a plugin and it's going to work out for you. It's not that easy. It requires a lot of setup, and the technical challenges are: first, you need to design a scalable system. You need to make sure that your user base can log in. They can pick and choose their contents from the box, and you can ship it on time. So at Rachel Zoe, we had 30,000 customers log into our system on a given day when we revealed our boxes, and they were picking and choosing their selectable items, and we were saving the data. We were making it ready to ship. So is your system scalable? Like, what caching plugins you're using? The session before that talked a lot about caching. Like, we were an image heavy site, so our images were loaded like pretty heavily. So we were using ImageX, we were using Fastly as the caching system to load our videos and images. We need a modular system. The first problem that we ran into was our WooCommerce setup was really slow. We were on AWS, and we were advised to basically get bigger servers. That was the answer, or add cache, but that wasn't doing it for us. So we were looking to scale WooCommerce, we were looking to scale WordPress, and how we could do that. The second system was a modular system. A lot of times you get asked for reports, like, can you get me the LTV report? Can you get me the ROAS report, which is the return on ad spend? Subscription commerce plugin, WooCommerce, doesn't have those capabilities. How can you get those reports to your CEO when you're using WooCommerce? The second thing was APIs. A lot of companies now, a lot of plugins that you work with, they ask for the APIs. Can you use WordPress APIs to do that? You need, go for it. An API is an application program interface. So basically, it's a way of interfacing with different companies. Like, they have their own APIs. It's a set of instructions. It's a set of tools that you can use to interface with different companies. That's the easiest explanation. A CMS, like, a lot of time your marketing team is using your tools, like your website, and they want to make changes on the fly. Can they do that? They would ask you for that. WordPress, they say, oh, it's a CMS. Can I make those changes right away? Another big thing they ask for is track user behavior in events. They want to track events. They want to track user behavior. How many of my users are going from page A to B and making a selection and just dropping off? You want to know that. you wanted to have a gated experience, which basically means that you want to show your platinum members some data or allow them to pick and choose some contents before your gold members or before your silver members. Now, can you do that with WordPress? Is there a plugin that can help you with that? So these another one is a reporting system, like I talked about, LTVs and like ROAS reports. And the last one is meaningful data analytics. When you have 30,000 customers, can you use WordPress to basically get those reports out? So these are the technical challenges. Now, the solution. So what we did was we went through a headless WordPress setup. So we used the WooCommerce APIs to connect to, we had a simple React site that was contacting WordPress through WordPress APIs, and that's how we were able to scale. Like our images were served through ImageX website that actually allows you to upload a high resolution image, and you can basically slice and dice the image using API requests, like REST calls. You can do that. You can slice and dice, so it's a really good tool. It speeds up your website. The second thing was videos. We were using Cloudinary to download the videos onto the site. And then there was this lightweight app that was basically contacting the WordPress APIs to basically make the transactions. When users were logging into their profile, they wanted to see how many orders they have placed. They wanted to see how we have an add-on marketplace, which was requested by the marketing team. So we had that, how many add-on orders have we placed. And there was a display layer which everyone wanted. Everyone now wants a mobile-friendly site, a mobile-first site. So can you do that in a faster way by using any of the technologies like React? And can you still use WordPress? So we started off as a very simple WordPress site, and then we basically broke the whole WordPress monolithic app into separate modules that were contacting each other, and that's how we were able to scale to 30,000 users. And I think when I left, 45,000 users that were logging into the site every 3 to 4 months. So cart, you have more control over the cart. And the last thing was third-party APIs. So we were using ShipStation, which was a third-party system that we wanted to use for a 3PL. So one of the big challenge was, can we send those orders can we do a dropship model where we are sending the orders to ShipStation and still fulfilling the orders? Our challenge was that when we set up the subscription commerce business, let me go back to WooCommerce. So WooCommerce has plugins like subscription and membership. Like once you have a subscription plugin that allows you to basically sell subscriptions, you can sign up a user with a subscription date, and the subscription starts from the day when they sign up. Our challenge was we wanted to bill them on a particular date, like every season. So every 3 months we wanted to override their subscription date and bill them like every 3 months, right before our launch for the new box. So we had to override that. The second thing was membership. Now, we wanted gated experience. So the membership plugin allows you to create a gated experience. You can have gated content, you can have gated videos, and it also allows you to basically set up, a lot of different products that are only available, and add-on discounts which are only available to certain members. So you can do that. So if you get if your marketing team asks you, is like, hey, I want to have this new membership level that is only available for certain customers, and you want to give them certain discounts, you can do that pretty easily by using the membership plugin. It's different from the subscription plugin. So there will be times when you'll be confused between two, like which one to use, because they both have to work together to allow you to have a good subscription business. And they also allow you to have discount percentage. Payments, you can use PayPal, Amazon Pay, and Stripe. PayPal and Stripe is built into WooCommerce subscription plugin. So you basically, it's rightly available there. You can go in and set up your credentials, and it's readily available. They also allow guest orders. So basically, you can just like test your order system, and then you can push it up to production. Uh, Another big thing is GA. So you can have an advanced GA plugin. There will be uh, requirements like, can I track how many users are at different stages? So you can use a GA plugin to do that. You can also use Heap, which is a pretty good system to allow you to track user behavior. Then there's another, like these two are different plugins. So pre-order was a really important plugin for us because we wanted to provide an experience where we open the box for a few members. So if you're a platinum member, you can log in and you can pick and choose your items. You get a separate experience, and then it was available for everyone else. So you can use a pre-order plugin that allows you to set up that whole experience right from scratch, like right away. It was available. The second plugin, which was really important, was product bundles. You need to install that plugin if you want to start a subscription business, because product bundle allows you to bundle a bunch of products together, and then you can set a price for that. So it's kind of like kits where you have a select price for a particular box, and then you can apply discounts over that price that you set up for a box. And the product bundle allows you to do that. You can have different variants, and you can pick and choose like multiple variants on the box itself. So that is plugin. Any question on the plugins? Like, have you guys? Yeah. A GA is a Google Analytics plugin. It allows you to track the data. Like, it has a lot of data points, and it has a special setting for your e-commerce business. So once you enable that, you can have a lot of data collected for e-commerce. So a lot of reports that you need for reports that you need for marketing team comes from GA and the WooCommerce advanced reporting plugin. So that advanced reporting plugin allows you to get reports like how many users signed up for the subscription, how many users cancel their subscription, how many users are repeated users. So one of the next slide that I'm going to talk about is data analytics. Now, once you have a business like that is already set up, you're getting customers. Now, the second thing the CEO is going to ask you is, hey, can I get all these reports that I need to run the business to know if it's working good for me, if it's profitable, am I making good profit, or am I losing money with all my marketing efforts? So what reports do you want? When can you get those reports, and how can you get these reports using your WooCommerce business? Now, some of these reports are available straight up. You can go in, you can log in, and there's a reporting tab. You go there and you get all those reports. It's very basic reports, but again, those are really helpful, like to begin with. Now, once you go into the advanced reporting, that's when you start getting into situations where you have to think of an alternate solutions, and basically that alternate solution would be either migrate your data to a separate data warehouse and basically run reportings from there, or basically write queries and use there's a query result display plugin. I forgot the name of that plugin. You can basically run custom queries, and it's going to show you the data there. So what do they ask for? The first thing they ask for is LTV, which is the lifetime value of a customer. So if you have a subscription business and a customer signed up from day one, and they have been with your business for 5 years, you know that that's their lifetime value. So they have been with you. You haven't spent a single dollar on marketing for them. They have stayed with your business for 5 years. There's another person who signed up a year ago. Their LTV is 1. So LTV basically is the combined result of what's the lifetime value of a customer. If you have like 1,000 customers, is an average, and you need to know that in order to scale up your subscription commerce business. So once you know the LTV, you'll be able to know like, hey, my customers are staying for like 3 years on my business, so that's great. The second one is ROAS, which is return on ad spend. LTV, I'm going to go over like how can you run these reports and are they available on WooCommerce, or you have to get the data somewhere else. The ROAS can be found on Google Analytics. So you know your marketing efforts are going for GA, or if you're going for Facebook, and you know how much dollar you're spending. Now, this report tells you how much you're spending on marketing and how many people are signing up in your subscription business. So anytime you can go to your WooCommerce plugin and you know like, hey, I have 300 customers signed up this month. Now you know how much dollars have you spent, marketing dollars have you spent this month on marketing, and you know like what's your return on ad spend. If you're one of the things that we ran into was we were spending more than like $120 on acquiring a customer, and our box value was $100. So we found out that hey, we are losing money there. So let's make sure our ROAS is basically is more, like basically our return is more than what we are spending on marketing dollars that we're spending on acquiring more customers. The monthly recurring revenue. So if you have a business which basically gets you like you have like 1,000 customers, you're billing them every month, you know, for $100, you know how much money that you're making, and that's the recurring revenue. This is this you get this report from the monthly recurring revenue report can be found out on WooCommerce. You just need to make sure that your billing cycle that runs every month, you know, there's an action scheduler that actually has data for all the customers that you're going to get rebuilt. You just need to find out how many customers are getting rebuilt every cycle. That's your MRR. Another thing is churn. That's really important. Every company asks for what's the churn. Churn is basically how many people are canceling your subscription. You can find out that from WooCommerce. It's readily available. You know how many people are canceling. Now that will help you to basically get your LTV if it's really important. You know how if I'm signing up 100 customers and 50 are canceling every month, I'm losing money there. So you need, and you can find out that from WooCommerce Advanced Reporting. That's readily available there. The average revenue per user, that's really important. They're going to ask you. You can get this report from WooCommerce subscription. It's available there as well. So these reports are really important. How can you get these reports? Like when can you basically get these reports, and how can you get it? I'm going to go with that now. So user behavior tracking is really important. You can get a report by using Heap or GA. That's available there. Event tracking, you can set up event tracking on your React app. You can do that and send the data directly to BigQuery, like either if you're using BigQuery or any of the Amazon services, you can do that. But that's a manual thing. Like event tracking can be set up on your site. You just need to make sure that you're adding the right events there that you want to track. Like how many people are clicking on my subscription info, if you need to find out, or how many people are entering the information and halfway canceling that. So you have to, this is a manual report that you have to build from scratch, and basically you can get this data from you have to add this data and get it from your data warehouse. Transactional data. Now this is readily available in WooCommerce subscription plugin. You know how many people are transacting on your site. You know how many people are signing up. The data point that you have to look for in a subscription business is how many people are selecting your product, how many people are adding it to the cart, how many people are basically abandoning the cart. So that data is really important. You can add a lot of event tracking over there to find out how many users are basically going to the end step and they are basically just canceling. Our conversion rate was close to 3%, which was great. We wanted to take it to 4%. Now we found out that our checkout page was really long, and if you're on a cell phone, like it's really hard for you to scroll like 4 or 5 times to basically enter all the information, and then you basically check out. So we found out that a lot of users were dropping off because of this. So what we did was we went through a 2-step checkout. You know that first you fill your shipping information, and then you fill your billing information, and then you basically just go. You can track that using GA. You can track that using WooCommerce subscription. We found out that that worked out pretty well for us because the 2-step checkout increased the conversion to 3.5, which was pretty great for us. You'd need to do a lot of these trackings like on a regular basis if you want to grow your company, because if a lot of users are dropping off, there's something wrong on the page. You can use a combination of event tracking. You can use a combination of event and transactional data to look into that as well. The batch data for computation. Now this is really important. WooCommerce doesn't have advanced reporting capabilities, so you need to get the data out in a batch to make sure you can run those reports using Tableau or any other tool. To do that, you need to basically just create batches of, you need to create ETLs. You can use any of the tools like PDIs or Vertica if you're ready to spend that much money. But you can get the data out, you can analyze the data, and then you can basically just do batch data computation to basically know like where your data is, like how many users are dropping off, where your data is going, and that's really important if you want to grow your business, because that would give you more data. The second thing that helps a lot with batch data computation is to get recommendation. Like once you need recommendation engine, if you have a business where you're showing that, hey, I have these 3 products, and people who bought these 3 products also bought 6 more products. Now that's a pretty good marketing strategy. Where can you get that data? The data is available on readily available if you basically migrate your data to a warehouse, and you can run a lot of batch processing over there. So you would need that data if you want to grow your business. How? So the WooCommerce advanced reporting is available, analytics and data is available. The custom ETL and warehouse, we had to basically migrate the data from our database in WooCommerce to a data warehouse to get a lot of tracking and computation done. And that was done using custom scripts, and we were able to get the data. So you really need that. There are a bunch of plugins that allows you to provide recommendation. I'm not sure like how good they are. We had to build one from scratch to basically show what products that we wanted to show. We wanted to show people what others are buying as well, and we also wanted to do a lot of like geo-targeting, which was really important for us. So we were able to get all the data out, and then we had to do all the computation, which was not available on WooCommerce Advanced Reporting. So there will be times where you have to get the data out of your system, and then you have to do computation. Some of the reports are available right away. So the recap. So you have to evolve your technology stack when you're growing your company. So we went from when I joined the company, we were 10,000 users. In one season, we went from 10,000 to 15,000 users. There's like 5,000 users plus 10,000 who already stayed in the system. So 15,000 users, and when I left the company, we were 45,000 users. So you went from 10,000 to 45,000. How can you do that? What is required? And apart from marketing efforts and everything else, you need to evaluate your technology stacks. What's your page load time? That's really important. Are you serving the right images? How is your mobile experience? That's really important. Have you evaluated your site against all the mobile phone availables? Like you can use browser stack. You can use a lot of different tools available to make sure your site is rendered on the mobile in a good way. You need to invest in data analytics. Like you need to know where your users are dropping off, where your users are how many users are basically going through the whole step, and that's really important for you, because you need to understand where your users are coming from and are they buying product or not. The third thing is, and that we learned that the hard way, that before me, the solution was if you add a lot of plugins, they're going to help you a lot, and that's not right, because a lot of plugins that you have in your system are not used. You don't know if they are basically helping you or not, and you have to evaluate those plugins. Like the previous presentation talked about doing a spring cleanup. You have to do that on a regular basis. Otherwise, your site's going to be really slow, and that's going to be an issue. Churn, it's really important. Make sure you keep an eye on churn. Make sure you keep an eye on like how many users are dropping off, and is there a reason behind that. You can use a lot of plugins available to make sure like when they cancel, you're collecting the right reasons for cancellations and things like that. And the last thing, which is really important, is keep it simple. Your site should be really user-friendly. It should be really easy for a user to go in and look what you're offering, like enter the information and buy the product. It has to be really simple. If it's not, then basically you're going to lose a lot of customers. And we had a 4-page flow where users were entering information, we were picking, choosing things, and we had 4 pages just before they actually reached the checkout page where they entered information and then they click checkout, and then we found out that a lot of users were dropping off in these steps because they were not sure about it. they were like not getting the right information. So keep an eye on that. Use event tracking to get all the data for the users, and once you do that, it's pretty easy for you to basically grow your subscription business, and it can be done on WooCommerce. So a lot of people will talk about other tools available. I have a business from 10,000 to 45,000 users. It's doable. So WooCommerce is a great tool, and yeah, it worked out well for us. So I think this is it for me. Do you guys have any questions? Yeah.
So you went over a lot really quickly.
Yeah.
So I plan to monetize my website by blogging content with
Mhm.
regards to wellness products, which
Okay.
I'm going to offer in my store.
Mhm.
And I also am going to run it as a subscription or a referral service
Mhm.
based on subscriptions for wellness providers.
Okay.
So I want to know about WooCommerce versus WordPress, if you know anything about that, and then how that would relate, how running WooCommerce on my site will help me with actual physical product and the service that I'm providing.
Okay. So basically, WooCommerce will allow you to run your transactions, and you can basically do the fulfillment for the physical product using your shipment provider. For content, you can use a membership plugin to basically have the gated content that you need. Uh, WooCommerce will, and you also wanted to run the subscription business. Okay, so for the subscription business, you basically have to provide like different products on subscription. Once you install the subscription plugin, you can basically pick and choose what kind of subscriptions you have, what kind of variations you want to offer with that product, and that would be available. You can combine both, so basically combine the membership plugin and WooCommerce subscription plugin. So basically you have both plugins running together, and then you can basically provide membership content to the users as well. Yeah, so that is available. You can do that together. Yep. Yep. Any more questions? No. Yep.
Question. You had mentioned the custom analytics reporting
Yeah.
system that you guys building.
Yeah.
There is useful data in the WooCommerce reports, and they are rebuilding that right
Yeah.
now, so there's going to be more cool stuff.
Yep.
But
3.6 and introducing out.
Okay.
that, yeah,
Yes.
and the product improvements too, the
Yes.
data stuff, yeah.
Yep.
It's good performance. So the plugin that comes to mind is Meta.
Okay.
Because that is, it's hard.
Price.
Yeah, I haven't personally used it, but I really want to get them. That's
Used
kind
to
of
work for us
easy.
when he left to build that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Great.
did you guys get a chance to try that? Or
We didn't.
was it
No.
just-
No. We went through the different round of using ETLs to basically get the data out, and then we can run like a lot of reporting there. But yeah, Ventric is. I'm gonna evaluate that.
WooCommerce
Yeah.
is ever changing. So
Yeah.
It's really hard to, like, if you're rewinding your project and some of those
Yeah.
requirements back 6 months, the solution would have been different
Yeah.
than it is today. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Great. Yeah.
Great presentation. Incredible amount of knowledge.
Mhm.
Like some of those slides that had multiple bullets, each one of those bullets could have been a page.
Yep.
Would you, I know a lot of people are typing like that, taking pictures of the screen and whatnot. Would you supply URLs to people
Yes.
to pick up the slides?
Yeah. So I'll provide my slides after the presentation as well. Yep.
And hats off to our stenographer. She was keeping up with it.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. But I'm available if you have any questions. If you want to go over the slides as well, like I'm available. Yep. Perfect.
WordPress TV.
Yep.
WordPress TV. And the transcripts, yeah. Your transcripts will be available as well, yes. We do a lot of work, yes. You can probably tell.
Great. I think that's it. If you guys want to reach out to me, I'm available on LinkedIn. I can talk to you guys about subscription I've done. Oh, yeah. So great. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm going to provide that after the presentation. Great. Yeah.
This technology, a lot of development went into your particular configuration of
Yep.
WooCommerce, the plugins, the
Yeah.
extra services, the front-end React app,
Yeah.
interact with that. Are you able to reuse that on other properties, other sites, other?
Yes. So one of the reasons we had to choose a modular approach, one of the reasons we had to use the modular approach was that we wanted to make sure that one, we can use any other technology. We're not tied to that one app that was doing everything for us, like WordPress. Like we had our customer service log into WordPress and do a lot of things. We had our marketing doing a lot of things. We had our like our operations guy doing a lot of things. So there was a lot of traffic on the app itself, and we wanted to like segregate the display layer, which was just displaying a lot of information to the users. We had a lot of images, and it was like a luxury segment site. So they wanted to show a lot of videos and have transitions with scroll events. So that's why we had to move away from WordPress displaying everything, and we wanted to use APIs. One thing that the second reason we had to take another step from WooCommerce was to create this data system, where data analytics, where we are like, hey, wait a second, we can send the data outside and then we can analyze the data. Can we do that? So we don't have to go to WordPress and basically just try to get all the data out. Because when you have like WooCommerce subscription is a heavy plugin. Like when you're relying on WooCommerce to do everything from end to end, it makes the site a bit slow. You can add a lot of things. We tried adding Fastly, Cloudflare, like we tried both, and Fastly was a better solution than Cloudflare for us because Fastly by itself has an image optimizer, which allows you to do the same thing which we were doing with ImageX. So basically upload a high resolution image and query it using your query params, and you can slice and dice it. That was a great plugin for us. We also invested a lot in database caching as well. Like we were trying to get the data out, and then finally we were like, you know what, let's go with a solution that has a separate display layer, and then we can do a lot of things in WordPress, and you don't have to worry about breaking the display layer anytime. Yeah. How many orders?
Well, and they don't have to be exact.
Yeah. I would say they were in like 500,000 to 600,000 orders. I would say 500,000 to 600,000 orders. The reason, we also thought of cleaning up our canceled orders, like all the cancellations that happened. Like the question was, do we keep the cancellation, the data that for the people who already canceled? And that was another reason to take the data out of WordPress, because you're like, wait a second, we can take this data out, clean up WordPress, so keep only active users and active orders in WordPress, and just use the other system to do all the calculation related to churn and what happened, and then reach out. And we had a reach out program where customer service was reaching out to these guys like, hey, do you want to sign up again? And that data was important. It's just, was it important to keep the data in WordPress, or can you just take the data out of WordPress and keep WordPress really simple, operating at a really good speed, and just do all the operations outside of WordPress? So that was another reason we had to pick and choose this modular system. Yep.
You showed the 3 payment systems.
Yes.
Those are in WooCommerce right now without any extra payment, correct?
Yeah, they are available right away.
Did you consider looking at the authorized.net payment gateway?
No, we have not. Like, we were already invested in Stripe, and Stripe was readily available. We didn't look into authorized.net, but it was available. Like with our system, since we had API access, we could have called authorized.net to run our payment gateway as well. But Stripe, according to me, like Stripe provides you a lot of good data. You basically can do a lot of, you get a lot of information. You can do a lot of reporting there as well. So Stripe worked out pretty well for us. But yeah, you could do that. Yeah, We use Prime Gateway and we use PayPal. PayPal and Stripe is available. Stripe has a plugin, so basically you install the plugin for Stripe and you get Stripe Gateway right away. You can configure that, and you can also with the Amazon Gateway as well. So it was available right there.
I found that most of the people that I deal with process credit cards
Mm-hmm.
have a merchant account,
Yeah.
and with that merchant account, they get free access to authorized.net in most cases, and
Mm-hmm.
where you go to.
Yep.
And then they also get some better, lower spikes on their transactions.
Yeah. Yeah. We had so we were running two sites, and
Other services
yeah.
are very nebulous to them. They have no idea who they are or what needs they have.
Yeah. So
You're saying that Stripe has been very easy.
yes, Stripe has been great. We actually I work for a different company now, but we had two sites running Stripe accounts. Shop Rachel Zoe was a luxury segment, a regular e-commerce site. We had Boxes Style, which was a more subscription commerce. They both were running Stripe. We were doing rebilling with them, and it was their API was pretty good, so it was available right there. So Stripe has been great for us. Yep.
I think according to the subscription plugin developer for prospects, and they told me that they could only recommend 3 main domains to use Stripe, PayPal, Outlook.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, we integrated PayPal. It was pretty easy for us to integrate. It was readily available there as well. Yeah. We did, yes. So we instead of playing with the subscription dollar amount, because we knew that like we had 20,000 or 30,000 customers. If we changed the dollar amount for a subscription, they would basically they would call in, they would cancel. We saw this that they were canceling and coming back again to get some starter discount and things like that. So we played with the length of subscription. So we had a 3-month subscription or a seasonal subscription. We had a yearly subscription. We had a 2-year subscription. So we were giving discounts on the subscriptions. We used this company called FriendBuy to refer a friend. If you refer like a friend, you get $20 off your subscription. You can use a lot of you can use a lot of these marketing techniques where you're using different plugins and playing with the length of subscription. But we never tried to lower the amount of subscription amount to see if we can sign up more customers, because we were afraid that we're gonna lose our existing customers if they find out that they're paying $100 for a box, and if we sign up someone for $70, they would want to cancel it and come back again with a new email and then sign up. Yeah, but what we did was we provided something called a different membership status, and this is available in membership plugin as well. You can provide different membership status, and if I've stayed with the company for 4 boxes, then I would jump a tier and I would get more discounts on my box. So like if I'm the new customer, I stay for 4 boxes, I would get like 10% discount or 20% discount. If I stay for 2 years, I would get 40% discount on add-ons. We opened up add-ons for these users, our platinum members, before everyone else. So we would advertise it and everyone's like, wait a second, I want to pick an add-on, but I cannot do that. I have to wait for 2 days because only platinum members can do it. And that allowed people to upgrade their membership tier so they can pick and choose add-ons before. And that was pretty great for us because that increased a lot of add-on revenue, which was assisting and basically just growing the revenue as well. Yeah. Great. So yeah, I'll be available if you have any questions, if you want to go over anything, and I'm on LinkedIn if you want to reach out to me. Great. Thank you.